Welcome in, one and all, to a very special fresh shave. I am Regan Boyce, aka Pink Demon, and today we will be reviewing and investigating Australia's newest masked anonymous band, Gopher. But before I touch on some sort of masked band, I must get in the mindset to truly understand them. Thank you, Mad Mex, for the mask hat. Please sponsor me or give me a free burrito. Now, like I said, Australia's got a new band. They're masked. We don't know who they are. They're called Gopher. Allegedly, because when I get into who I think this is later on, and I have an idea of who this is, I'm gonna call that into question. But allegedly, they're from Australia, and whoever it is, they're clearly good musicians with a good idea of how to write music. The Cliff Notes version of it is, despite the gimmick and a fairly dog shit mix, unfortunately, these songs are just a good polish, a bit of production of value away from being, unironically, one of the best new bands in Australia. And the mix isn't so bad that you can't get used to it. And by the time I reach the end of the album, it's barely bothering me. But then again, I listen to like black metal demos, so my view on acceptable mixing standards probably very warped. But if it was really well produced, it would be a really easy elevator pitch to get people into this band. It's grindcore electric cowboy. And you may see the grindcore label and want to tap out immediately, but please don't go far. Unfortunately, as it is, I can't really compare it to someone with the lofty heights of Electric Callboy, so I'll bring it down a level and say it's kind of like we have Necrogoblicon at home. And if you gave me this album and said this was a demo for an Australian band that wants to be the Down Under Necrogoblicon, I'd be absolutely rapt to hear it. But sadly, this is the album, not a demo recording. But I don't want to harp on that fact too much. I've got that out there, and I'd rather get into what I really liked about this album. So, mix aside, it starts really strong in the opening track, Op Shop Reject, just pummeling death grind from the start before the keys kick in. It's got some really nice synths, and that's kind of my problem with the mix, is that the fun elements, the party elements, and they're billing themselves as a party metal band, they're really low in the mix, but they've got these really cool synths, and then a lot of other fun elements, like there's a lot of little squealy, what you call them, like guitar, pinch harmonics, leading into a really catchy chorus that ends with this like awesome hooky line of what you see is what you get, and what you get is fuck you. And it is delivered so succinctly and in a way that's so easy to sing along with it that it's just a really strong hook. And it does exactly what a strong hook should, in that when I turn off this album, in the back of my head, when there's no other music on, or when there is other music on, even other bands, all I'm doing is, what you see is what you get, and what you get is fuck you. So it's got that earworm quality to it. Then rolls on to the next track, Chili Man, and that's when you start to get this kind of electric cowboy dance element into it. Once again, doesn't hit as hard as it could because it's too low down in the max. Regardless, it still has that kind of 2000s Europop in the chorus, and then in the verses, it just goes straight back to this hammering death metal riff, and it's so smoothly connected. And I think that's where it's even eclipsing a band like Electric Callboy, because Gopher really step up the extremity of the metal side of things. You know, they're not just playing 80s power metal riff type stuff, or sorry, 80s hair metal riff that kind of blends well with an electronic background. They're going from this really heavy, brutal, extreme metal and then trying to mix it with this 2000s pop sound. It's a greater gap between the two that they're trying to bridge, and they still manage to bridge it quite well. So I think they deserve recognition for that. It's really good. And hey, that experience must come from their age, which, as you can see, photo of the members on screen, they're very, very old. This is a band of geriatrics that claim to be born in the 1790s. And yes, you heard me right, 1790. But you know where else those skills of mixing different sounds together really well could come from? Someone with a background in mixing contrasting styles. Like, I don't know, maybe a folk metal musician? Lock that away for later. The album stays really fresh throughout as well, and the ways they combine these sounds, it's not the same formula every time. There's different elements taken out, put back in. Just, they've got everything they have together, and then they're kind of picking and choosing how they assemble it each time to make sure that it's never kind of the same mix twice so you don't get bored. And this keeps it fresh, especially into the later half of the album where you might normally peter off if an album's too formulaic. But even on songs in the later half, like Soul Hole, it's got these great riffs that almost feel like they've got like a little bit of pirate metal influence coming through. It's got this very kind of yo-ho chorus line to it that has that sea shanty vibe. And once again, that's another chorus line that it's really easy to get into and sing along to. It's just really well put together to be a fun album. Another thing that helps it not tire itself out is that it's only a tight 30-minute album across 11 songs, and that's that grindcore element coming in where I think only one song breaches the 3-minute mark. Quick fact checked. Okay, we've got 2 songs at 3 minutes and 4 seconds and 1 song at 3:20. So the longest song on this album is 3 minutes 20. There is no wasted time, there are no interludes, it is just riff and dance and riff and dance. And they really let the dance breathe too. There are songs where the keys take the lead and kind of lead the guitar like $5 a day. And it's a more palatable version of Cybergrind. Bands like ESP Mayhem, who I love, they're very fun, but they're also extremely abrasive, and you need to be in the mood for grindcore to listen to a band like ESP Mayhem. Whereas this is so much more approachable. I don't need to be in the mood for some really extreme metal to put on Gopher. I can be in the mood for something fun and then pick up this grindcore album and be like, this is fun. This is danceable somehow. It's why you need to give the whole album, or at least the whole song, a chance, because if you just listen to a snippet, you are not going to get the full picture. Like, if you're like, oh, what's the fun one? I'll put on Party in the Sky. That's going to be a fun song. It's got party in the name. No, it opens as like a black metal song, which gives me a further clue on who might be behind this band. Put that away. Black metal projects. But it doesn't stay black metal the whole way through. It then picks up and the levity comes back to it. A few people reached out to me after my lukewarm review of the Necrogoblicon latest release, saying that they felt the same, and that, it was always that kind of first choice for a second band, always the bridesmaid, never the bride feeling with them, which I'm glad that what I said resonated. It's hard to give negative opinions on bands on reviews, especially if you think the band might hear it, but it's integrity as a reviewer to give an honest opinion. So to all those people who like kind of what they're doing, but it's just not hitting the mark, and if you do like what Necrogoblicon is doing and they do hit the mark for you, for both those parties, I highly recommend checking out Tunnel Buddies. Which, apologies, I think this is the first time I've said the name of the album. The album's called Tunnel Buddies. I mean, you clicked on the video, you would have seen that. But the album is called Tunnel Buddies, and the art has these 2 delightful gophers crawling up through the ground. I wonder who did the artwork for this. It almost looks like the guy, is it Salty who does all the toe hider artwork? Kind of looks like his style. Very weird. So yeah, that's the 2 groups of people who should go listen to this album, is people who like Necrogoblicon and people who don't like Necrogoblicon, and you have to fall into one of those, alright? So go listen to this album. And now, let's put all our clues together, alright? We've got someone who likes anonymous masked bands. They say they're from Australia, which means they're either Australian, or they have a history of lying about what country they're from. Whoever it is, they're clearly a talented musician and know how to write good songs. They know how to write and mix contrasting styles. They've probably got a black metal project. So who is a good songwriter who likes party metal, who likes mask and costume bands, who has a black metal project, who mixes different styles together a lot? It's so obvious. Christopher fucking Bose of Ailstorm fame, I am onto you, alright? You said that Ramahoy is from Argentina. They're not Argentinian, alright? And I don't know if I truly believe that Gopher could be Australian. This might be another one of your bruises, so I'm fucking onto you, Chris, alright? And if one of the guys is Christopher Bose, then the other guy's probably Matthew Bell, because Matthew Bell's in 100 bands, and 90% of them seem to be Christopher Bose projects. So, I think I cracked that one wide open. Case closed. This is clearly a Christopher Bose project. I am not taking any further questions or notes on that, but I will be willing to talk about this album with anyone who listens to it. So, give it a listen, send it to your tunnel buddy and say, hey, if we were Gophers, I'd be a tunnel buddy with you. I love you. And then send them the link to this album and see how they respond. And then post their response in the comments to drive engagement on my content. So then you're talking to a friend, I get engagement boost, and Gopher gets their music listened to. It's really a win-win-win situation if you do that for all of us. So, don't be a dick, dude. Come on, do it. But thank you very much for walking. Thank you very much for watching up to here. This has been a fun one. It's been a silly one. I love a good mass band. I love a good gimmick. I love a bit. Obviously, they reached out to me. I know who's in this band, and I'm not telling you. It might be Christopher Bose. I'm not fucking telling you. So, good luck figuring out who it is. But really, enjoy the album. It is a good album. I do wish it was mixed better. That's my only real downside to it. Thank you for watching. Do like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever. And until next time, listen to good music and take care of yourself. Peace out.